Welcome to Tokimaru's night of spaghetti and terror.
Welcome, welcome. Hey, how's it going, y'all? Oh, I see a lot of people in chat today. Oh, Pepe Swag's back. Welcome back. UT Fam, Kerbo, the One Fox. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it's Mr. Grizz from the hit game Splatoon 3. Hey, Toki, wanted to creepypasta I submitted was a long one. So I took a cursory glance. They actually don't look too long. I ended up having to grab a couple more. Actually, wait, did you submit the... You submitted the Godzilla one, right? Because I wasn't sure how much I wasn't sure if I would do the whole thing because it's multiple chapters. How many chapters is it? Also, there are pictures. I've noticed that there are pictures. Swear to God, if my link didn't work. All the links worked. All the links worked. We're Gucci Fam Squad. So there's 1, 2, 3. Hope these pictures don't spoil anything. I'm just trying to scroll through to see how many chapters we have. Oh my God, that's so long. I don't know. We'll see how spooky it is. We'll see how spooky it is, and then we can decide when we get a stopping point. Wolfpack's Playhouse. Yeah, I remember you. Welcome, welcome. Okairi Nasai, welcome back. Ooh, actually, give me one thing. So since the Godzilla one has pictures, I do have a special setup for that. Toki, do you like my costume? I got it for a single cent. What costume? Oh, wait. Mr. Grizz, are you Boogie? Are you Boogie wearing a Mr. Grizz costume? Also, you may notice I am wearing a hat today. I didn't have time to make a costume, so I just got my Ralsei hat from the Deltarune streams. You have a pumpkin on your head? Oh my God. The avatars are so small. Like, the YouTube avatars are so tiny I can barely see them. I just need to check this one thing. Hello? I see the problem. I need to fix this because I changed my whole setup last second. Oh, hello? Okay, that should be good. Oops. Okay, once we get there, I'll show you. It's really cool. It's really cool. I have a really cool setup that I made for when I need to open an additional window, but it requires some setup. Oh my God, so many messages popped up in like the last 5 seconds. Parappa.exe. Anything goes, even Alaskan. Looking at a photo from me 3 years ago. What is that creature? Oh yeah, I definitely know that feel. Okay, anyway, so we have... let me see. Toki, did I accidentally send mine 3 times? No. It does not... Wait. No. You didn't. It's good. We're good. Okay, yeah. So we got 4 submissions. We got 4 submissions. I mean, there were 2 of them that were just the names. So there's one that just says Slender Man, and the other one that just says Goosebumps. But like, okay, when you say Goosebumps, is that like Goosebumps the entire series of books? Goosebumps, Slenderman. So we have 4 real submissions. And then I picked a couple that I thought would be fun. 2 of them are iconic. Actually, all of them are iconic, but some of them are less serious than others. Sonic.exe. I'll see. How long is that one? Wait. Sonic.exe. Okay, that looks okay. Yep, okay. We'll see how long these are. Do you like my creepy setup? You like my creepy setup where I turn the lights off? I turn the lights off and I put some creepy music. All right. So today, actually I need to, no, that's fine. No, that's not fine. Let me move some things around. Okay, we're good. OG Sonic.exe is one of the worst written creepypastas. Nice! Oh my god, I love poorly written creepypastas. I think bad creepypastas are better than good creepypastas. I mean, good ones are obviously good because they're scary and they're well written. But like, I crave the cringe of awful creepypastas. All right. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 stories for you. Also, Toki, I found a game that's slightly based off you. Oh, it's called... Oh, yo, wait. I have Deathloop. Deathloop is so good. I love card games. I love... The pixel art in that game is amazing. Because I feel like it's an era of retro pixel art games that isn't usually done. I don't know. It's like in that midway point between 8-bit and like 32-bit. You know, it's sort of like in that in-between phase. My previous message, Mr. Grizz.exe. Someone bought a normal Splatoon 3 until I came out of the TV, grabbed the person and threw them into the Switch. Oh no! The worst punishment is having to fight Salmonids with the Bamboozler Dynamo Roller. Oh, wait! Oh no, okay. Kerbo, sorry. I realized what game I was thinking of. Okay, it's not, I don't have Deathloop. I know what Deathloop is though. I realized I was thinking of the wrong game. Deathloop is it's like an action shooter. No, wait, okay, here's the thing. In the past few years, there have been a lot of games about time loops. There have been a lot of games about time loops in the past few years. The game I was thinking of is Loop Hero, which is a really good pixel art card game where you're trapped in a loop and you need to basically defeat this eldritch god. But okay, so what games have there been? There have been like Deathloop. So Deathloop is the action shooter one. And then there was another shooter. There was another shooter that was based on time loops, wasn't there? Oh, what was it? What was it? PS5 time loop game. No, that's Deathloop. What was the other one I was thinking of? I'm trying to think of the other one. But aside from that, there's also 12 Minutes. Has anyone heard of 12 Minutes? It's like a top-down sort of point-and-click adventure game where you're living Groundhog Day trapped in your apartment with your wife. And then, God, this is gonna be stuck in my head. I swear, there's another first-person shooter where you're trapped in a time loop that I don't remember the name of. And it came out, I think the original trailer came out at the same time as the trailer for Deathloop. I just don't remember what it was called. Toki, I said something to you. Oh my god. There are so many comments now. Oh my god. In the past few weeks, I went from like 0 viewers to at least 6. And now I have to contend with like actually trying to keep up with chat instead of just rambling to myself and not paying attention. What do we got? I ordered a pizza from Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku, come in. Toki, I said something to you. Where was that? There's a story I want to show you called Lost Silver. But Odyssey beat me to the sin. I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that. Hey, Toki, read the cringe creepypasta I made in chat. Okay, oh, the Hatsune Miku one. I ordered a pizza from Hatsune Miku, and Hatsune Miku came out with hyper-realistic blood and killed me! Did you see one called Sleepover Rules? Yes, so there are 2 of them called Sleepover Rules. They look different, so I'll probably do both of them. Okay. Okay! Y'all, I need to start. I need to start reading these. So, we are going to start off with a story called Prevention of Evolution, which looks like it's an Eevee one. It's an Eevee one. I assume somebody presses B, and it doesn't involve the Eevee. Prevention of Evolution. Never look at shiny Eevee in the same way. Also, is the sound good? I want to make sure people can hear me actually read. So if I go like, I'll never look at shiny Eevee the same way again. Ever. It started only a few days ago. I was on the internet looking for action replay codes. Is that good? Is that a good volume? Tokimaru, what is it, Pepe Swag? Also a fan of Snow on Mount Silver. I have like 9 of these to get through. I don't know if we're gonna make it through all of them. Okay. It's time to start. It's time for me to start. Also, I created one of them. You did? What? Nice. Why is my link not showing up in chat? You actually can't post any links in chat. I think links in chat are just banned by default. Here, let me... You should have mentioned that earlier. Here, okay. You cannot post links in chat. I think YouTube automatically deletes them. If you want to link to a creepypasta for me to read, click on this link. I just put a link in chat for you. And use that to link to a creepypasta that you want me to read. Okay? Because I got 4 submissions and then I found 5 more on my own. So if you have another one, go ahead and click that. Here we go. Number 1, the first creepypasta of the night. Prevention of evolution. Never look at shiny Eevee the same way again. Ever. Started only a few days ago. I was on the internet looking for action replay codes. Really wanted one for either a shiny Vulpix or a shiny Eevee. Then, I found one for that shiny Eevee I wanted so much. The code was long, but I was willing to take the time to put it in. It took about 15 minutes to put the code in. I was so excited to get the code into action. I started my Soul Silver game with the code on. I clicked on continue. My previous save data came up. I was saved right in front of the Pokemon Center. Rushed into the place with my Typhlosion following behind me. I went to the PC, and I pressed A. Klaus booted up the PC. I clicked A on Bill's PC. Pokemon storage system activated. I pressed the L and R buttons down and moved to box 5 where a shiny Eevee was supposed to come up. I moved the cursor over the Eevee. It was named Yay! And it was level 1. Its moves were Tackle, Growl, Sand Attack, and Swift. I took out my level 1 Giratina from my level 1 Giratina, I'm sorry. This person's cheating with no remorse. From my party. And put it into the first box of the PC. Afterwards, I put E in my party. I wanted to trade it onto my Heart Gold version since it was the one I always play. I got my other DS and popped Heart Gold into it. Tokimaru, stop! Why? Why, Pepe Swag? Why? I have like 9 of these to get through, and we're already 20 minutes in, and I haven't finished one. Wear a mask? Wear a mask? I'm wearing a hat! Just moving myself a tiny bit. Shouldn't it be a bad egg due to its IVs? I don't remember how bad eggs work. Mr. Grizz, I see the links. Don't worry. Y'all, don't worry. Okay. Here we go. Where was I? Okay. Heart Gold version. I turned it on and clicked continue. Once both my players were in the Union Room, I started the trade. I traded a cube onto my Soul Silver in return for E. Once the Pokemon were traded onto the separate versions, I make both players leave the Union Room and saved at one at a time. Once turning off the system Soul Silver was in, I went to playing Heart Gold. I wanted to clone E so I could get the rest of the evolutions. I wonder if I have a Thunderstone, I wondered to myself as I opened my character's bag. The only evolution stone I had was a Water Stone. Vaporeon will do for now, I guess. I clicked A on the Water Stone and clicked on E. I watched as the Eevee evolved into a pink Vaporeon. Once the evolution process was done, I saved the game. I turned it off, as it was time for me to go to bed. Several days passed. I'd gotten all the shiny evolutions except for Flareon, but that didn't matter to me. I'd get it later. I wanted to get E back onto my Soul Silver. I got my DS and I popped in my Action Replay DSi along with Soul Silver. Once the code list loaded, I clicked on the shiny Eevee code and started up the game. Clicked continue as soon as the options came up. I was saved in the Pokemon Center this time. I ran over to the PC. Klaus booted up the PC. I clicked A on Bill's PC. Pokemon storage system activated. I was already in box 5. I moved to box 6 and held down the R and L buttons. I moved back to box 5. Instead of an Eevee icon, there was an egg icon. I moved my cursor on it. It was a bad egg. I moved the egg to the side of the box and tried again. Another bad egg. I moved this egg to the bottom and tried for a third time. This time, E appeared in the box. I moved E back into my party. I wanted to train him. I disregarded the fact that I had 2 bad eggs in my PC box and logged off the PC. I ran out of the Pokemon Center to train E. I had the max EXP code on, so this would be easy. After flying to Goldenrod City on my Ho-Oh, I ran out of the city, knowing that I had sneaked past some of the trainers. Once the trainer had spotted me, I sent out E. The opposing trainer sent out a level 10 Diglett. I returned E and sent out my trusty Typhlosion. After the foe's Diglett attacked, I selected Typhlosion's command. This wouldn't be hard at all for him since he was level 100. I selected Slash. Typhlosion used Slash! Foe Diglett fainted. I held down the R button so E would gain max experience points. E grew to level 2, E grew to level 3. This went on until E grew to level 37. Trainer's about to send out Zubat. Will Klaus change a Pokemon? I selected yes and sent out E. Go! E! Trainer sent out Zubat. I selected the fight command, then chose Swift. E used Swift. Oh, Zubat died! The Zubat died? I questioned. I shook my head and ignored it. Although, through my confusion, I'd forgotten to hold down the R button to get the max XP for my Eevee. Trainer was about to send out Diglett. Will Klaus switch Pokemon? I selected no this time. Trainer sent out Diglett. What will EE do? I selected the fight option, and then chose Swift again. E used Swift. Bo's Diglett died. Again! The Pokemon had died. Even though this still confused me, I remembered to hold down the R button. E grew to level 38. E grew to level 39. E grew to level 40. This continued until E reached level 52. The opposing trainer didn't do anything after I beat him. Before the screen went back to the overworld, I got the evolution screen and E was on there. What? E is evolving. The one fox? No worries. The fact that you came at all is support enough. Have a good rest of your evening. Okay. The animation started showing it was trying to evolve into Espeon. I clicked the B button since I already had a shiny Espeon. What? E stopped evolving. I noticed that E seemed to be angry. I ignore it and go on training it. After about 5 minutes or so, E was trying to evolve into Espeon again. I pressed the B button again, and E seemed even angrier at me. I was once again in the overworld. Before I could do anything, my trainer faced E and an angry icon appeared over the shiny Eevee's head. E wants to evolve into Espeon. Yes or no options came up. Being that I didn't want to evolve into Espeon, I clicked no. The angry icon appeared over E's head again, and a small sprite jumped up and down as if it were throwing a tantrum. E wants to evolve. Another yes or no option came up. I clicked no again. E didn't do anything this time. I opened my party and noticed all my Pokemon were now bad eggs, except for E. I clicked on E, then on Summary. E's sprite had an evil-looking smirk on its face and red eyes. I'm starting to get tired on it. I went to the Pokemon Center and went to the PC. Klaus booted up the PC. I clicked A on Bill's PC. Pokemon storage system activated. I selected E and then clicked on release. E won't leave without a fight. Suddenly, I'm dragged into a random encounter. E wants to fight. Go! Typhlosion! There were two things I noticed here. First thing was that I suddenly had my Typhlosion back. The second thing was that both E's and Typhlosion sprites were bloody. E still had that grin on its face, and now there was blood on its eyes and ears. Typhlosion sprite looked very much like it was in pain. Blood was dripping from its mouth and nose. Flesh was exposed on its forehead, and the flame on its neck looked weak. What will Typhlosion do? I clicked the fight command, then chose flamethrower. Typhlosion is scared. What? I whispered to myself. I didn't know Pokemon would get too scared to attack. E used Bite. The attack dealt much damage to my Typhlosion, but it wasn't down yet. There was more blood on it now than before. What will Typhlosion do? Bite! Flamethrower! Typhlosion is scared. I sighed. Again? I whispered. EE used Kill. Typhlosion has died. No! I yelled. I was glad my dad wasn't home when I said that. Klaus is out of usable Pokemon. Klaus fell victim to EE. I was once again confused. What did it mean by fell victim? I was back in the overworld, but I was in what seemed to be like Ilex Forest. Okay, confession time. I've actually never played Gen 2. I can't tell. That's an I, right? Ilex? Okay. The forest was a dark red instead of its normal green color. Bones and rotting flesh were strewn across the area. The little pond was blood red too. At this point, I was starting to feel sick to my stomach. Then I noticed something. E was right in front of my trainer. E's sprite jumped up and down. E wants you to suffer. I was getting scared to go on. Too scared to go on with this. I moved my thumb towards the power button. Don't even try it. You're not getting away from me. A voice came through the speakers on my DS. I assumed the voice belonged to E. The screen turned black, and the only sound I could hear was what sounded like slashing. When the overworld came back, I saw my trainer laying in the. When the overworld came back, I saw my trainer laying on the ground in a pool of blood. He had an arm and leg missing, and his eyes were pitch black. I assumed that his eyes were ripped out. E's sprite jumped up and down again. Then a happy icon appeared over E's head. I tried turning the game off again, and to my surprise, it worked this time. I sat on my couch speechless, breathed hard for a moment before turning it back on. I clicked on Soul Silver once I was on the DSi menu. After the title screen came up, I was immediately taken to a wild encounter. My trainer's sprite was missing his eyes and an arm. He swallowed hard. This greatly disturbed me. Then the opposing Pokemon appeared. E attacked! I noticed that E had shiny Espeon ears, tail, and a jewel. Blood was dripping from its ears, tail, and jewel. Its eyes were red and also had blood dripping from them. Its cry was like a demonic version of Espeon's cry. The only option was ball. I clicked on it. Klaus used one Pokeball. E goes into the ball. Shakes once and again. Then E breaks out. E doesn't want to go back. E used kill. Oh no, I quietly said to myself. There was a flash of crimson red before the text box came up. E has killed Klaus. The screen went back to the overworld. My trainer's sprite wasn't there. E's sprite was now grinning widely. Should have let me evolve. E's voice echoed through the speakers on my DSi. The game turned itself off as E finished talking. I was too terrified to turn it back on. I threw my DS at the wall, and surprisingly, only my Soul Silver game pops out of it. I picked up the game cartridge and threw it in the trash can in the corner of my room. I sat there on my couch wondering what had just happened. I turned on my TV and the screen was all black. Figured I just left it on the channel I used to play on my Wii. I turned through the channels before leaving it on 29. The screen remained black. I sighed and reached to press the power button, but before I could, an eerie voice comes through the speakers. You should have let me evolve. The end.
Ooh! Was that one a scary story for you?
Help me, I'm having a heart attack. Oh no. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so here's the thing. I kept on getting taken out of the story. Like, I feel like I can get scared from just words and stories, but like this was bad. It was badly written in a very subtle way. It's not like it had bad grammar or bad spelling or anything, or like it was written by a 5-year-old. It's just like every sentence is a list. It's just a list of things that happen instead of like having any actual flavor or atmosphere. It's not like it was a dark and dreary day. The winds whipped against the trees, which then wrapped their branches upon my window, creating a loud cracking sound all through the night. Like, it didn't have any flavor or atmosphere or anything. It was just, it was literally a list of actions. Like, I was saved in front of the Pokemon Center. I rushed into the place with my Typhlosion following behind me. I went to the PC and pressed A. Klaus booted up the PC. I clicked A on Bill's PC. Pokemon, like, you know what I mean? Do you get what I mean? I was wondering if you could read what I said about Pokemon coding. What did you say? Oh, you just mean like the bad egg stuff? Tokimaru, Among Us is behind you. Oh no, I'm being impostered. Help me.
Bum 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 bum.
Anyway. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Do either of mine next, please. Which ones did you... Yours was horror rules? Or sleepover rules is what it is, right? Said quite a bit due to learning about Pokemon coding a while back. Ooh, that's really interesting. Okay, where did you start? Bad eggs appear when a Pokemon's code and personality gets corrupted, causing the IVs being corrupted. You can't... from what I noticed, whenever you corrupted Pokemon Gen 1 and become Missigno... Yeah, so I know that, like, Missigno comes up when you try to catch a when you, like, try to catch a... like a non-catchable Pokemon. Because they had Pokemon, they had more Pokemon that they wanted to make, but they didn't program them in entirely. So I know that you can force those Pokemon to come up, but since they don't exist in the game, they just come up as Missigno. Bad egg. So bad eggs I actually had heard about before, and I used to have an action replay that I used on the DS. I never got a bad egg though. I think it's because when I used it, it was... I used the code that made the game bring out a Pokemon in the wild, so they would have the correct stats and everything, and they wouldn't become bad eggs. I know, like, I heard that bad eggs can break your game, but I've never seen a bad egg. Okay. So I'm gonna do. Oh, that one's pretty short. Okay. So I'm gonna do sleepover. The first sleepover rules. Here we go. Welcome. I'm really glad. Okay. Here's what the flavor is. I'm imagining this is from like the point of view of Germa985. Imagine Germa saying this. Does anybody know Germa? He's a streamer. Germa985 from Twitch. That's who I'm imagining is saying this. He's like, "Welcome. I'm really glad you came." In the Germa voice. I can't do a Germa voice. Don't watch him. Oh, Germa's great. Onion ring. Nice. It's the onion ring meme. Okay. Yeah. So I'm imagining this in Germa's voice. Welcome. I'm really glad you came. We've got a couple of rules, so make sure you follow them. Number 1. Knock on the door once. If I answer, come in. 1B. If my mom answers, ask her to come get me, and then come in. 1C. If my little brother answers, close your eyes and count to 10. We'll be persistent on asking you to open them. Do not open them. 1. Oh god. The formatting for this is really weird. So 1C and then subsection 1 of 1C. Okay, do not open them. Wait, what? What is the formatting of this? We went from, okay, so it goes 1, 1B, 1C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5B. What? Okay, I'll just continue. 1C, do not open them. 1. You'll see my dad watching golf on the couch. Don't make eye contact or say anything to him. It's straight up to my room. 2. Once you make it to my room, put your stuff in the closet. You have a maximum of 2 visits to my closet. The first for putting your stuff in, the next for getting it out in the morning. Make any more trips to the closet, then you won't come out. After all that, go socialize with my family. We're really friendly, and this will increase your chance for survival. Ooh. 4. We normally order pizza for sleepovers, so here are some brands to watch out for. 5B. Okay. If it's Domino's, it's fine. 5C. If it's Pizza Hut, then take off the toppings. 5D. If it's Little Caesars, then only take 1 slice. 5E. If it's Papa John's, then do not eat it. Say thanks for getting pizza, but I'm not hungry for it. We have other stuff to eat. 1. Again. Get in my room by 10 p.m. Alright, that was the easy part. Now here comes the hard part. 1. We have a mattress, so sleep on that. 2. We have an AC. If it gets above 70... Sorry. It says star instead of degrees. 70 degrees Fahrenheit, I guess. Gets above 70, then turn it on, set it to 65 degrees. 8B. We skipped to 8B. Wait, what? 5E, 1, 1, 2, 8B. If it gets below 65 degrees, set it to 67. 1. If you wake up to the closet open, get under the blanket and don't peek until you hear running noises and my door open and slam shut. You hear my door close slowly, stay under until you hear it slam. 2. If you hear noises outside, wake me up immediately and hide in the closet. 3. If any of my doors or floor change color, you're dreaming. Don't wake me up and wake yourself up by slapping yourself in the face extremely hard. 4. If you see the lights on the other side of my door turn on or off, and it wasn't me or you, leave the house immediately and ignore all the other rules. They are hunting. It should be daytime now, so here are a couple more rules. 1. Don't eat breakfast unless you don't want to leave my house ever again. 14. Leave at around 11 to 12. If you don't leave by this time, you're staying here for another night. That's all. Please follow these rules. Please. I don't want to lose another one to these monsters. That's it. That's the end. How was that one? Was that one scary? That felt more silly than scary. I feel like it was like, okay, the concept is it's gonna be something scary, but like the way they typed it out, it just ended up sounding really comedic. That was yours? Oh no! Like, I like the idea. I like the idea of like, hey, we got a couple of rules. And then it's like, it starts out normal and then it gets creepier and creepier. I feel like... Okay, here's the thing. Did you have like a specific concept in mind? And then come up with the rules? Or did you just come up with a random list of rules that makes it sound scary? Boogie, welcome! No worries. What was yours? Oh, you just wrote a name. The hide behind. Wait, have I feel like I might have read that one on my own somewhere. You didn't submit a link, you just said a name. Please upvote my rules. I don't have a Reddit account, actually. Oh, you wrote this 1 month ago. Nice. Hide behind sounds familiar. Yeah, you know what I'm realizing? So I searched it up. Apparently it's... an American folklore cryptid. That's probably why it also sounds familiar. Yeah, Boogie. So if you look at the chat box, there should be a link pinned to the top of chat from me. If you click that, oh wait, you already know because you used it, but you have to submit a link so that I know where to find it. It was a Gravity Falls short. Oh, that's where I've heard of it. Oh my god. I thought I checked it out before. Gravity Falls hide behind. That's like the tall dark silhouette, right? Yeah, it's that guy. Ah! I remember that one. Okay. So before we do sleepover rules number 2, which looks longer, I'm going to do one that I found that I wanted to do. Actually, I'm going to do 2 of these because they're really, really short. Here we go. Check this out. This is going to be real good. So you're with your honey, and you're making out when the phone rings. You answer it, and the Vios is, "What are you doing with my daughter?" You tell your girl, and she say, "My dad is dead." Then who was phone? That's it. Here's another one. Oh, this one's one of my favorites. This one's really good. Okay. Man and girl go out to drive under moonlight. They stop at a side of road. You turn to his girl and say, "Baby, I love you very much." "What is it, honey?" "Our car is broken down. I think the engine is broken. I'll walk and get some more fuel." "Okay, I'll stay here and look after our stereo. There have been news report of steers getting stolen." Good idea. Keep the doors locked no matter what. I love you, Sweaty. So the guy left to get full for car. After 2 hours, the girls say, "Where's my baby? He was supposed to be back by now." Then the girl hear a scratching sound and voice say, "Let me in!" The girl doesn't do it. And then after a while, she goes to sleep. The next morning, she wakes up and finds her boyfriend still not there. She gets out to check. And man, door, hand, hook, car, door. Man, door, hand, hook, car, door. How was that one? That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites. Man, door, hand, hook, car, door. Ah, Boogie submitted a link. Hide behind. This is a podcast. This is an entire podcast. Okay. This is not a creepypasta. This is just a description. Try one more time. Try one more time. I have... Okay, I'm going to continue. We're going to do sleepover rules. Which is like the one that Kerbo submitted. Except... Well, I guess he submitted this one too. This is like the one that Kerbo wrote, but this is a lot longer. I'll get a different one then. Yeah, I'm looking for like stories. Okay. Hey there! Again, this is read in a Germa voice. Imagine Germa. Hey there! So glad you decided to stay the night with me. Not many people do, but now that you're here, you have no choice. These rules are to ensure your safety. If you fail to follow these rules, you will become one of them. Have fun! What did I miss? You missed the only good creepypasta ever. You missed it. It's too late. You have to wait for the VOD to go up. Okay. If you fail to follow these rules, you'll become one of them. Have fun. P.S. Keep in mind that they are fake. I live alone, in parentheses. Afternoon rules, 12:05 a.m. 12:05 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's morning. It says afternoon rules, but 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. is in the morning. One. Before entering the house, knock 2 times, then stomp once. If someone else answers the door besides me, stand there and don't say anything. The person there will be persistent. Do not look away. After 45 seconds, they will close the door and you must repeat the knock and stomp rule until I answer. I'm in, smiley face. 1. After entering, you cannot leave until 12 a.m. tomorrow. Do not look behind you and shut the door. Sometimes you might see a man sitting on the couch in the living room laughing at the TV. It will not be on. You must say, I love this show. 3.5. He stops laughing and stares at you. Close your eyes for 15 seconds. Do not open them. Once you hear his laughing again, you may continue on. If the dog sits at the table, do not tell him to get down. Do not pet the dog. He tends to bite. 2. There is a painting in the main hall. It will move its placement every time you come out of the room. Its placement and behavior is crucial for your survival. 3. If you make it to my room, put your stuff on my dresser. If you leave it on the floor, you won't get it back. 4. Do not look under the bed. If you drop something under the bed, hope it wasn't important. 5. If you have to use the bathroom, go to the one with the brown door. When you enter, the shower curtain must be open. If it's not, exit and wait 5 minutes. 8.5. Oh, I see. We're doing this again. We went from 5 to 8.5. If you enter the bathroom and it's open, close the door and lock it. You hear a knock at the door, get in the shower and close the curtain. You can come out when you hear someone running away from the bathroom. 1. If you open the door and the painting is in front of you, you must not move until the painting blinks. Once it blinks, go straight back to my room and do not look back. 2. Bedtime is at 9 p.m. If you aren't in my room by 9, I cannot open the door. 3. If you hear screaming at night, put the covers over your head. Do not come out until the screaming stops. 4. You wake up and I am not there, do not look for me. You are asleep. 5. If you exit my room while you were dreaming, you'll never wake back up. 6. Make sure you cover the mirror beside the bed before falling asleep. If it falls over, do not touch it. It will burn you. 7. If you are hungry or need to use the restroom, you may only come out at the hours of 11 to 12. 8. When you go downstairs, count the steps. If there are more than 24, go back to the room and go to sleep. 9. You make it downstairs, my mother will be chopping food in the kitchen. She will stare at you, but do not make eye contact with her. 17.5. She is very clumsy. She doesn't pay attention well. She will cut off parts of her fingers until she reaches the knuckle on the hand. Do not act as if anything is wrong. 1. The light in the fridge doesn't come on when you open it. Immediately close it. They like to rest in the cold. 2. The blood dripping from the ceiling is very hot. If it drips on you, try not to notice it and continue on. 3. Try to come back up the stairs and they never seem to end. You are stuck. You must jump over the railing. 4. You reach the top of the stairs and the attic door is open. Run to the kitchen. The creature in there doesn't like Mom. 5. If you make it back to my room and I am standing up, immediately leave and knock 3 times. Come in and go straight to sleep. Do not look at me. 6. If you see car lights outside the windows, do not look outside. He doesn't like to be seen. Morning rules from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. If you wake up before me, take the blanket off the mirror. Play rock, paper, scissors with your reflection. If you lose, go back to sleep. If you win, you may stay awake. Do not leave my room until I am awake. When I wake up, we will go downstairs and eat breakfast. How do you feel about cannibalism? If you don't like it, don't eat the meat. Any leftovers must be put in front of the dog at the table. Quickly place them in front of him and pull your hand away. You must check the basement and make sure no one is down there. If I am, stay there. If no one is, immediately, but calmly, come back upstairs. The light won't come on, but you hear breathing. Don't move till the breathing stops. If the door slams behind you, pray. 6. Do not look in the mirror in the hallway. There will always be more than one person staring back. 7. You must only go back upstairs to grab your items to leave. If you go back up there the second time, you won't come back down. You may only leave at exactly 12:03 a.m. If you stay past 12:05, you've chosen to stay again. When you leave, say goodbye to everyone you see. Exit the house and close the door behind you. Do not look back. Should you make it to your car, the house has disappeared, drive away as fast as you can. If it's still there and you see yourself waving goodbye from the window, you must wave back and look away from the house. Drive slowly. Well, these are all the rules. Hope you have a really fun time and I'm excited you decided to stay. Come back soon. How was that one? I feel like I really feel like the rules are the rules of horror, or the sleepover rules are more comedic. than they are spooky. I don't know. I think it's really funny how specific they are. Ooh. I like it. Ton of them. Yeah. So many rules. All right. Okay, who wanted theirs next? Try mine. Oh yeah, you did. You submitted a new link. Okay, with mine being last, it's the longest. If it doesn't work, then I don't care. The hide behind. Here's the thing. These aren't creepypastas, they're just descriptions. Like the thing about a creepypasta is like it's a story. It's a story usually written by the perspective of somebody in the story. Okay, we'll read this, but I don't know if it's gonna be that scary because it's literally a wiki description. Chokimaru, what's up, Pepe Swag? What's up?
Are you scared yet? It's so creepy. Do you think it is scary?
There's something behind your windows. Oh, I can't open my curtain right now. Oh well. Oh well, that's fine. Something can be there. I'm fine with the thing being behind my window. Okay. So the hide behind. Back in the early days of America, settlers and entrepreneurs were busy claiming land and settling in for a bright and happy future. So we're talking anywhere from the 1700s to the mid-1900s. Suppose even today, some areas are being settled, but not like it. Okay, that voice doesn't work. That voice doesn't really work. Not like it was in the early days of the United States. Loggers were the first to access and live in more remote areas, not surprisingly, because that's where the forests were that they needed to harvest. Unfortunately, that's where they ran into this creature that they named the Hide Behind. There are several very old, out-of-print books that reference this creature, and if you can get one, you'll be paying over $100 for it. So I left them behind and tried to find information elsewhere. One blogger seems to have gotten a hold of a copy of at least one of these tomes, and I think that's why your description of this creature is so much better than anything else I've read. Looks like the hide behind could be mistaken for a bear, except that it walks bipedally and stands around 6 feet tall. Ooh, that's me. That's me when I'm not in my ghost form. I'm 6'1". And I'm also bipedal. It's extremely thin and covered from head to toe in long dark hair. And the picture they have here looks like Cousin It from the Addams Family. It's just a big lump of hair. Its arms, quote unquote, are a little short, but have long sharp claws on the end. The legs, quote unquote, seem rather short too, and also have some dangerous claws. The face isn't visible beneath all the hair. This creature also has a tail said to look like that of a French sheepdog. This one point might ruin my working theory, but let's continue. Stalks-like. The name comes from the fact that the loggers believed it would stalk them and come at them from behind. They turned around, the creature would already be out of sight, hiding behind something. They also believed the creature was as thin as it was so it could hide behind trees. It's just like the Gravity Falls short. I feel like the Gravity Falls short is influencing my vision of this creature, which makes it funnier than scary. Supposed to be very patient stalkers and able to fast for 7 years before finding a tasty morsel somewhere in the woods. In addition, they're supposed to be very fast. I guess I would be fast too if I'd been waiting for 7 years to find something I'd like to eat. So what do they eat? Humans are the preferred meal, particularly our intestines, but they will also eat Grebes. A grebe is a small water bird. Neat. For their intestines. Do you know what a grebe is? A small water bird whose intestines, I'd imagine, are much bigger than one of my fingers. Maybe even the pinky, but I guess if you're waiting up to 7 years to find a human to eat, most likely an unsuspecting logger, a few dozen grebes could tide you over. Bottoms up. There's one way to defeat a hide behind. Get good and drunk so that he can smell the alcohol on you. Apparently they don't like the smell of alcohol, but it's going to take more than a few beers to make sure they can smell it before ripping you open for your intestines. Now that just sounds like a license to get drunk, doesn't it? Is it real or fiction? Imagine early loggers trudging into an ancient forest all along the northern tier of the USA. It's dark at night and they probably just have campfires to see by, and later on, some flashlights and maybe early Coleman's lamp or something. None of these things will give you a good view into a pitch black forest encircling your camp, so you start to hear strange calls and some whistles. Wondering what animals make that sound? Or could it be other humans, like unfriendly native tribes? Dusk or dawn, you think you catch a glimpse of something big and hairy looking your way. It seems to hide among the forest foliage and sometimes peeks around from behind trees. You have no idea what you're seeing, but it fills you with dread. I think these early loggers were absolutely encountering Bigfoot/Sasquatches. Obviously. Obviously it's Bigfoots. But how does the tail come into play? The hideaway, they made a mistake here. They said hideaway instead of the hide behind. Where was I? The hideaway is definitely said to have one, but as we know, Bigfoots and Sasquatch, as we famously know, all Bigfoots and Sasquatches do not. Yeah, you know, the well-known common sense fact that Bigfoots/Sasquatches do not have tails. You know, everybody knew that. I knew that. I bet you did. I bet you all knew that too. It's common knowledge. Everybody knows. Perhaps the tail was just something else, a frond of a pine tree or ferns that grew in some forested areas. Perhaps it was the arm of a smaller creature behind them. Maybe it wasn't there at all, but their fear drove them to make some assumptions. Even though this creature is fictitious, I believe the early loggers were seeing Bigfoot/Sasquatches that they most likely do even now. They may not have killed the loggers for their intestines, but some of them can be quite violent if you believe some people's accounts. I believe there are some Indian legends that describe them as eating humans. It's recorded how... It's so dumb. It's so I cannot believe this person is like treating Bigfoot as real and being like, well, as we all know, Bigfoots, I think I was seeing Bigfoots. I don't believe there's such thing as a hide behind. I think it was probably the very real and very truthful, factual, scientifically researched Bigfoot, which we all know exists and doesn't have a tail. Amazing. Ooh, my nose is getting a little bit stuffy. My throat's a little bit dry. Toki, explain the tail. The tail? As we all know, Bigfoots do not have a tail. Okay, so I have 2 that I picked, and then 2 more that were submitted. The 2 that I picked were Jeff the Killer and Ben Drowned, which are 2 famous ones. The 2 that were submitted, I don't have a tail. It's just a ghost. It's a wisp. It's like a ghost wisp. You know how ghosts don't have legs? They just have a wisp. The 2 that were submitted are Sonic.exe and NES Godzilla. NES Godzilla is a really long one, so we're probably going to do that last. So I guess vote between everybody. Vote between Jeff the Killer, Ben Drowned, and Sonic.exe. Go ahead and type your votes in chat. God, I really wish we had polls. I think you don't get polls until 500 subs. We have exactly 1 vote for Ben Drowned and 1 vote for Sonic.exe. Everybody, please vote. Everyone, and don't forget to hit that like button. Oh ho ho. Oh, that's good. I just saw the like button. I just saw the likes go up. The likes went up by 1. That's good. Thanks, Toki. I forgot to like. Yeah, don't forget to like. Don't forget to keep my numbers up so that I can get suggested to more people, and then we can have a bigger chat. Then we can have more than 2 votes for creepypastas. Okay, so I guess it's even. I'm gonna flip a coin. Let's see. I have my commemorative Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U coin that I got from the release. Oh, the likes went up to 5. Let's go. Okay. We'll go heads for Sonic.exe and tails for Ben Drowned. This is heads, that's tails. Looks like it's Ben Drowned. Honestly, I like small chats because I get to talk to the stream. Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's tails. I got tails. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have said tails for Sonic.exe. Because that would have been good. That would have been thematically good. All right, here we go. We're doing Ben Drowned. Oh, that's actually pretty long. That's actually longer than I thought. That's pretty long too. Okay. Okay. Here is Ben. So this is comprised of 5 posts. It's 5 posts starting from September the 7th of 2010 to September the 15th of that same year. Oh, these are posted to 4chan. These were posted to 4chan. Okay, /X. I need your help with this. Oh, this is post 1 from September the 7th. This is not a copy pasta. This is a long read, but I feel like my safety or well-being could very well depend on this. This is video game related, specifically Majora's Mask. And this is the creepiest shit that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Having said that, I recently moved into my dorm starting as a sophomore in college, and a friend of mine gave me his old Nintendo 64 to play. I was stoked, to say the least. I could finally play all those old games of my youth that I hadn't touched in at least a decade. The Nintendo 64 came with 1 yellow controller and a rather shoddy copy of Super Smash Bros. While beggars can't be choosers, needless to say, it didn't take long until I became bored of beating up level 9 CPUs. Never heard you swear before? Yeah, I don't usually, but I feel like I mean, it's in the story. I can't not read the script, right? If it's in a script, I'll probably read it. I want to be faithful to the original story. That weekend, I decided to drive around a few neighborhoods about 20 minutes or so off campus, hitting up the local garage sales, hoping to score on some good deals from ignorant parents. I ended up picking up a copy of Pokemon Stadium. GoldenEye. Oh boy, wait, it's an actual swear. This is the big boy swear. Fuck yeah. F-Zero, and 2 other controllers for $2. Satisfied, I began to drive out of the neighborhood when one last house caught my attention. Still have no idea why it did. There were no cars and only one table was set up with random junk on it. Something sort of drew me there. I usually trust my gut on these things, so I got out of the car and I was greeted by an old man. His outward appearance was, for lack of a better word, displeasing. It was odd, if you ask me. If you asked me to tell you why I thought he was displeasing, I couldn't really pinpoint anything. There's just something about him that put me on edge. I can't explain it. All I can tell you is that if it wasn't in the middle of the afternoon and there were other people within shouting distance, I would not have even thought of approaching this man. He flashed a crooked smile at me, asked what I was looking for, and immediately noticed that he must be blind in one of his eyes. His right eye had that glazed over look about it. Forced myself to look to his left eye instead, trying not to offend. Asked him if he had any old video games. I was already wondering how I could politely excuse myself from the situation when he would tell me he had no idea what video games was. To my surprise, he said he had a few old ones in an old box. He assured me he'd be back in a quote-unquote jiffy, and then turned to head back to his garage. As I watched him hobble away, I couldn't help but notice that he was sitting, what he was selling on his table. Littered across his table were rather peculiar paintings. Various artworks that looked like ink blots that a psychiatrist might show you. Curious, I looked through them. It was obvious why no one was visiting this guy's garage sale. It weren't exactly aesthetically pleasing. As I came to the last one, for some reason it looked almost like Majora's Mask. Same heart-shaped body with little spikes protruding outward. Initially, I just thought that since I was secretly hoping to find that game at these garage sales, some Freudian bullshit was projecting itself into the ink blots. But given the events that happened afterward, I'm not so sure now. Should have asked the man about it. I wish I would have asked the man about it. After staring at the Majora-shaped blot, I looked up, and the old man was suddenly there again, arm's length in front of me, smiling at me. I'll admit, I jumped out of reflex, and I laughed nervously as he handed me a Nintendo 64 cartridge. It was the standard gray color, except that someone had written Majora on the back in permanent marker. I got butterflies in my stomach as I realized what a coincidence this was, and I asked him how much he wanted for it. The old man smiled at me and told me that I could have it for free, that it used to belong to a kid who was about my age that didn't live here anymore. There was something weird about how the man phrased that, but I didn't really pay attention to it then. I was too caught up in not only finding this game, but getting it for free. I reminded myself to be a bit skeptical, since this looked like a pretty shady cartridge, and there's no guarantee it would work. And then the optimist inside of me interjected that maybe it was some kind of beta version, or pirated version of the game. That was all I needed to be back on Cloud 9. I thanked the man. The man smiled at me and wished me well, saying, "Goodbye then." At least that was what it sounded like to me. All the way in the car ride home, I had the nagging doubt the man had said something else. My fears were confirmed when I booted up the game. To my surprise, it worked just fine. And there was one save file named simply Ben. "Goodbye, Ben," he was saying. "Goodbye, Ben." Whoop. I almost knocked over my water. Felt bad for the man. Obviously a grandparent and obviously going senile. And I, for some reason or another, reminded me of his grandson Ben. Out of curiosity, I looked at the save file. Eyeballing it, I could tell he was pretty far in the game. He had almost all the masks and three-quarter remains of the bosses. Notice that he used an owl statue to save his game. It was on day 3, and by the Stone Tower Temple with hardly an hour left before the moon would crash. Remember thinking that it was a shame that he had come so close to beating the game, but he never finished it. I made a new file named Link out of tradition and started playing the game, ready to relive my childhood. Such a shady-looking game cartridge, I was impressed at how smoothly it ran. Literally just like a retail copy of the game, save for a few minor hiccups here and there. like textures being where they shouldn't be, random flashes of cutscenes at odd intervals, but nothing too bad. However, the only thing that was a little unnerving was that at times, the NPCs would call me Link, and at other times, they would call me Ben. I figured it was just a bug, fluke in the programming, causing our files to get mixed up or something. It did kind of creep me out though after a while. It was around after I'd beaten the Woodfall Temple that I regrettably went to the save files and deleted Ben. I had intended to preserve the file just out of respect of the game's original owner. It's not like I needed 2 files anyway. Hoping that would solve the problem. It did, and it didn't. Now NPCs wouldn't call me anything. Where my name should be in the dialogue, there was just a blank space. My save file name was still called Link, though. Frustrated, and with homework to do, I put the game down for the day. Started playing the game again last night, getting the lens of truth and working my way towards completing the Snowhead Temple. Now, some of you more hardcore Majora's Mask players know about the 4th day glitch. For those who don't, you can Google it, but the gist of it is, right as the clock is about to hit 000 on the final day, you talk to the astronomer and look through the telescope. If you time it right, the countdown disappears and you essentially have another day to finish whatever you were doing. Deciding to do the glitch to try and finish the Snowhead Temple, I happened to get it right on the first try, and the time counter at the bottom disappeared. However, when I pressed B to exit the telescope, instead of being greeted by the astronomer, I found myself in the Majora boss fight room at the end of the game, Trippy Boxton Arena, staring at Skull Kid hovering above me. There was no sound, just him floating in the air above me, and the background music, which was regular for the area, but still creepy. Immediately, my palms began to sweat. This was definitely not normal. Skull Kid never appeared here. I tried moving around the area, and no matter where I went, Skull Kid would always be facing me, looking at me, not saying anything. Nothing would happen, though. This kept up for around 60 seconds. Thought the game had bugged or something, but I was beginning to doubt that very much. I was about to reach for the reset button when text appeared on my screen. You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation. I instantly recognized that text. You get that message when you get the room key from Anju at the Stockpot Inn. But why was it playing here? I refused to entertain the notion that it was almost as if the game was trying to communicate with me. Started to navigate the room again, testing to see if that was some sort of trigger that enabled me to interact with something here. Then I realized how stupid I was. To even think that someone could reprogram the game like this was absurd. Sure enough, 15 seconds later another message appeared on the screen. And again, like the first one, it was already a pre-existing phrase. Go to the lair of the temple's boss? Yes, no. I paused for a second, contemplating what I should press and how the game would react, when I realized I couldn't select no. Taking a deep breath, I pressed yes, and the screen faded to white, with the words dawn of a new day with the subtext line beneath it. What I was ported to filled me with the most intense sense of dread and impending fear I had ever experienced. The only way I can describe the way I felt here is having this feeling of inexplicable depression on a profound scale. I am normally not a depressed person, but the way I felt here was a feeling that I didn't even know existed. It was a twisted, powerful presence that seemed to wash over me. I appeared in some kind of weird Twilight Zone version of Clock Town. When I walked out of the clock tower, as you normally do when you start from day one, only to find that all the inhabitants were gone. Usually with the 4th day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dog that runs around outside the tower. This time, they were all gone. What replaced them was the ominous feeling that there was something out there, in the same area as me, and that it was watching me. I had 4 hearts to my name and the hero's bow. But at this point, I wasn't even considered for my I wasn't even concerned for my avatar. They mistyped. I personally was in some kind of danger. Perhaps the most chilling thing was the music. It's the Song of Healing, ripped straight from the game itself, but played in reverse. The music would get louder, building up so as if you should expect something to pop out at you, but nothing ever did. And the constant loop began to wear on my mental state. Every now and then, I would hear the faint laugh of the happy mask salesman in the background, just quiet enough so that I wasn't sure if I was hearing things, but just loud enough to keep me determined to find him. I looked in all 4 zones of Clocktown, only to find nothing. No one. Textures were missing. West Clocktown had me walking on air. The entire area felt broken. Hopelessly broken. As the reverse Song of Healing repeated for what must have been the 50th time, I just remembered standing in the middle of South Clocktown, realizing I had never felt so alone in a video game before. As I walked through the ghost town, I don't know whether it was the combination of the out-of-place textures in the atmosphere, and the haunting melody of the once peaceful and soothing song being butchered and distorted, but I was literally on the verge of tears, and I had no idea why. I hardly ever cry. Something had gripped me here, and this powerful sense of depression that was both foreign and crippling. I tried leaving Clocktown, but every time I attempted to zone out, the screen would fade to black. I would just zone into another part of Clocktown. I tried playing my ocarina. I wanted to escape, and I did not want to be here. But every time I played the Song of Time or Song of Soaring, it would only say, "Your notes echo far. Nothing happens." By this point, it was obvious the game didn't want me to leave. But I had no idea why it was keeping me here. I didn't want to go inside the buildings. I felt that I would be too vulnerable there to whatever I was terrified of. I don't know why, but I came up with the idea that maybe if I drowned myself at the laundry pool, I'd spawn somewhere else and leave this place. As I zoned in and ran towards the pool, that's when it happened. Link grabbed his head, and the screen flashed for a brief moment of the happy mask salesman smiling at me. Not Link, me, with Skull Kid's scream playing in the background. When that screen returned, I was staring at the Link statue from playing the song of Elegy of Emptiness. I screamed as the thing stared back at me with that haunting facial expression. I turned around and ran back into South Clocktown. To my horror, every fucking statue followed me. And the only way I compare this is like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. Every so often, at random intervals, the animation would play of the statue appearing behind me. It was like the thing was chasing me, or I don't even want to fucking say it, haunting me. By this point, I was on the verge of hysterics. Not even once did the thought of turning off the console occur to me. I don't know why. I was so wrapped up in it. The terror felt all so real. I tried to shake the statue, but it would literally appear right behind me every single time. Link started to begin to make weird animations I'd never seen him do before. He would flail his arms about or spasm randomly. The screen would cut to the happy mask salesman smiling again for a brief moment before I was face to face with that fucking statue again. I ended up running into the Sword Master's dojo and ran to the back. I don't know why, but in my panic, I just wanted some kind of reassurance that I'm not alone here. To my dismay, I found no one. As I turned to leave, the statue cornered me in the cubby in the back. I tried attacking the statue with my sword, but to no avail. Confused and backed into a corner, I just stared at the statue, waiting for it to kill me. Suddenly, the screen flashed again to the happy mask salesman, and Link turned to face my screen, standing upright, mirroring the statue. Looking at me along with his copy, literally staring at me. Whatever was left of the fourth wall was completely shattered while I ran out of the dojo terrified. Suddenly, the game warped me to an underground tunnel, and the reverse song of healing queued up again, as I was given a brief moment of rest before the statue started appearing behind me again, this time aggressively. I could only take a few steps before it would summon behind me again. I hurriedly made my way out of the tunnel and appeared in southern Clocktown. As I ran aimlessly, in sheer panic, suddenly a Redead screamed and the screen faded to black as Dawn of a New Day and line appeared again. The screen faded in, and I was standing on top of Clock Tower with Skull Kid hovering over me again, silent. I looked up, and the moon was back, looming just meters above my head. Skull Kid just stared at me, hauntingly, with that fucking mask. A new song was playing. The Stone Tower Temple theme played in reverse. In some sort of desperate attempt, I equipped my bow and fired off a shot at the Skull Kid, and it actually hit him, and he played an animation of him reeling back. Fired again, and on the third arrow a text box appeared saying, "That won't do you any good, hee hee." I was picked off the ground, levitated upwards on my back, and then Link screamed as he burst into flames, instantly killing him. I jumped when this happened. I'd never seen this move used by anyone in the game, and Skull Kid himself didn't have any moves. As the death screen played, my lifeless body still burning, the Skull Kid laughed and the screen faded to black, only to have me reappear in the same place. I decided to charge him. The same thing happened. Link's body was lifted off the ground by some unknown force and he immediately burst into flames again, killing him. This time, during the death scene, the faint sounds of the reverse song of healing could be heard. On my third and final try, I noticed there was no music playing this time. That all there was eerie silence. I remembered that in the original encounter with Skull Kid, you were supposed to use the ocarina to either travel back in time or summon the giants. I attempted to play the Song of Time, but before I could hit the last note, Link's body once again horrifically exploded into flames and he died. As the death screen neared its end, it began to chug. So the cartridge was trying to process a lot of something. When the scream came to, it was the same scene as the first 3 times, except this time, Link was lying on the ground dead in a position I had never seen in the game before, his head tilted towards the camera. It's the Skull Kid floating above him. I couldn't move. I couldn't press any buttons. All I could do is just stare at Link's dead body. After around 30 seconds, the game simply fades out with the message, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before kicking you out to the title screen. Upon getting back to the title screen starting again, I noticed my save file was no longer there. Instead of Link, it was replaced with Your Turn. Your Turn had 3 hearts, 0 masks, and no items. I selected Your Turn, and immediately, when I did, I was returned to the Clock Tower rooftop scene of my Link dead, the Skull Kid hovering over. The Skull Kid's laughing, looping again and again. I quickly hit the reset button, and when the game booted up again, there was one more save file added below Your Turn entitled Ben. Ben's save file is right back where it was before I deleted it, at the Stone Tower Temple with the moon almost crashing. I turned the game off at that point. I am not superstitious, but this is way too fucked up even for me. I haven't played it at all today. Hell, I didn't even get any sleep last night. I kept hearing the reverse song of healing music in my head, and just remembering the sense of dread I felt exploring Clocktown. I drove back to the old man's house to ask him some questions with a buddy of mine. No way I was going there alone. Only to find there's a for sale sign in front of the front yard. When I rang the doorbell, no one was home. So now I'm back here, writing down the rest of my thoughts and recording what happened. Sorry if some of this has grammatical errors and whatnot. I'm running on no sleep here. I'm terrified of this game. Even more so now that I relived it a second time writing it all down. But I feel like there's still more to it than meets the eye. There's something calling to me to investigate further. I think that Ben is something in this equation, but I don't know what. If I could get a hold of the old man, then I would be able to find some answers. I need another day or so to recuperate before tackling the game again. It's already taken a toll on my sanity, I feel like. Next time I do this, I'm going to be recording my footage all the way through. The idea to record only came to me towards the end, so you can see the last few minutes of what I saw, including Skulkin and the elegy statue, but it's on YouTube here. I'm going to stay in this thread for a little while longer before I fall asleep to answer any questions you guys might have, or hopefully listen to your ideas or theories to help me shed light on this, or maybe things I should try to do. I think I'm going to play Ben's file tomorrow to see what happens. Maybe I was supposed to do all along. I don't believe in paranormal shit, but this is a little messed up. But maybe this Ben guy is just a really good hacker/programmer. I don't want to think about the alternative if it isn't. That's the end of the copy-paste. I'm hoping that maybe this is some kind of running gag the developers had, that other people have gotten gag or hacked copies of the game like this. It just really scares me. Oh, that was post 1 of 5. Oh my god, that's so long. That's actually really good. I think that's actually really well written, especially compared to like the Eevee one. Like, they're both game-based, but this one actually makes you feel the sense of dread that's happening to the character. And it makes you understand why it's scary, instead of just saying, there was a statue, the statue was following me, and it was looking at the screen, and I went to this place, and the statue, like, you know? Instead it was like, that statue was following me around every single corner. No matter where I went, it was just behind. Like, oh, I always thought that Ben Drown was just gonna be a really cringe one. Like, I hear Sonic EXE is pretty cringe. And I assume Ben Drown would also be cringe, but this is actually really well written. Okay, here's the thing. We are running out of time. And this is a really, really long one. Like, this is really long. It's 5 chapters, and that was 1 chapter. The Godzilla one's really, really long. I don't think we're gonna get to that. So here's what I'm thinking. That's pretty long, too. Actually, no. Okay. Here's the plan. It's good, maybe next year. Okay. Actually, I want to show you one thing. First. Before we end off, I'm going to show you the video. Of that goes along with the first chapter of Ben Drowned. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, let's see if this works. Do the thing. I assume you'll read NES Godzilla next year's Halloween stream. Okay, so here's something I've been considering doing. I think... So I actually do want to finish Ben Drowned, but it's pretty long. NES Godzilla, I want to check out, but that's pretty long too. I'm considering doing something that I would call... So, okay. Here's something that I'm gonna formally announce a little bit later, but I'm gonna be going on vacation for the first half of December. I was considering doing like a Nightmare Before Christmas thing, where I did a short horror thing before Christmas, but unfortunately I'm going on vacation for the first half of December, so it would be like the Nightmare After Christmas. I also want to play Little Nightmares, because even though I don't like horror games, I love platformers, and that looks really good. It depends on how much time I have. I might do like a Little Nightmare After Christmas Boogie Raid. Who's Snowy? Snowy, welcome. What is happening? Oh, I see. Oh, do the thing I said. You were queuing somebody else to do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, we're just finishing off. I'm actually about to show one final thing before we finish the stream. Since Ben Drowned comes with a video, I'm also gonna show the video, and I have a really cool setup for it. Hashtag Boogie Raid. Thanks, Boogie. Wait, Toki, what's on Friday? Okay, wait, I'm not done yet. In December, you'll be reading NES Godzilla. It depends on how much time I have. I want to play Little Nightmares. So I might do Little Nightmares and also finish Ben Drowned and also NES Godzilla. But we'll see. I might not have time. I might not have time. But I'll get back to you when December comes. Okay, here we go. Before we end off the stream, this is the video that comes with the first chapter of Ben Drowned. Check this out. I made a little window. This is like, the window is art, by the way. That's not part of the actual video. Oh, wait, actually, hold up a sec. The audio is really important. The audio is really good. I'm gonna turn off my BGM. And I'm gonna turn on the audio. Can you get out so I can? Oh wait. Yeah. Let me move myself to the front. Hello. I'll go down here for now. Here we go. Okay, that bit was funny. That bit was actually funny. The atmosphere is really good, but that bit was funny. Jesus Christ. The Majora's Mask jump scare got me. Your turn. Oh boy. The end card is annoying. Okay. Oh my god. I assume these are all the videos. Man, that's actually really good. Beat a boop. Let's move myself back here. That's really good. Oh my god. That was so well done. Okay. I'm actually really invested in this now. Have you played Sonic.exe? I am usually not great with scary things. That's why this is like a special thing for 100 subs, is because I'm not. That's also why most of the things I did schedule for this week aren't scary. Yeah, I've never played Sonic.exe. I've never read or watched Ben Drowned. I don't usually play scary games, but I'm pretty invested in this. It's really well done. Fun fact: someone made a computer game for Godzilla NES, so you read the whole thing and want to play. I might do that. Okay, yeah. If we end up doing that for the December thing, if we end up reading Godzilla NES for the December thing, I'll probably also play the game along with it. Come on, do it. I mean, I can't play it now because I already have everything set in stone for the schedule. Tokimaru, I have a question. What's your question? Let's turn the lights on. Let's turn the lights on now that we're done reading for now. The lights are on. 1 sec. My face is a little dark. Don't worry about that. What is your question? Watch out for him. Have you ever eaten Pop Rocks? I have. Pop Rocks are great. Why are you gonna make... Oh, are you? Do you just mean are you? Are you gonna make a Splooky Subtober in October 2023? Yes and no. I mean, obviously, so it's called Splooky Subtober because I'm celebrating 100 subs and also it's October Halloween. I'm gonna do another Halloween event next year. I'm gonna do a Halloween event next year for sure. For sure. I don't know what it is though. We'll see. But obviously it's not gonna be Splooky because it's gonna not be for 100 subs. I think I'm probably not gonna do another sub celebration until 500. Also, I don't know how many people were here for this promise, but I did promise at 500 subs I'll make a Discord. What's the worst candy? Probably, what was it called? What was it called? It's like that. What was it? I'm trying to remember. The thing is, I hate it so much that I forgot the name because I never actually get it. Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you the year that will stop? I don't know what that means. That's scary. Don't scale me. Almond Joy? No, not Almond Joy. It's not a chocolate. It's like a toffee sort of thing. Or a taffy? I guess. Is it a taffy? Oh, no, it's Tootsie Rolls. I hate Tootsie Rolls. I guess it is. It's chocolate flavored taffy. I hate Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Rolls are objectively the worst candy ever. That's probably not true, but it's the worst candy that I've had. Yeah, I hate Tootsie Rolls. Except for the non-chocolate flavored Tootsie Rolls. I feel like it's just a bad combination, isn't it? Like, chocolate doesn't go with taffy. Taffy should be fruity and sweet, not like chocolatey and chalky and bitter. Well, it's not bitter, but, you know, it's not hyper sweet like, it's not sugary sweet like the fruit flavored ones are. You know what's the worst candy I've had? What is the worst candy that you've had, Pepe Swag? You're lucky my brother didn't hear that? Oh, that's fine. You know what else is really bad? Those candy cigarettes. Do they still sell those? They're just like white chalk sticks that are really bad. What else is a bad candy? I don't really like I don't really like Smarties. They're just kind of worse M&Ms. Skittles are great. Reese's are great. Coffee Crisp is amazing. Kit Kats are great. Crunchy's pretty bad. I'm thinking of Crunchy, right? Yeah, Crunchy's pretty bad. Made with honeycomb toffee. Yeah, I don't like the big, hard toffee center of Crunchy. Smarties are... I mean, Smarties aren't... Actually, no. I'd like to rescind that statement. Smarties aren't bad. They're not bad. They're just mid. They're mediocre. I think that if I had a big bag of Smarties and that was the only candy I had, I would probably eat the Smartie. I would probably finish the Smarties. I would never throw away Smarties. Like, if they're there and I want candy and I can't, I'm not gonna buy more candy and throw out Smarties. I'll eat the Smarties. They're just mediocre. This chocolate thing, I forget what it's called. In Halloween, I ate it. Tastes bad. Yeah, I mean, that probably describes a lot of things. I hear candy corn is bad, but I've never had it. You know what? I've literally never seen candy corn in real life. It's like a running, it's like a meme, right? That candy corn is bad. But the thing is, I've never had candy corn, so I wouldn't know. You're making my brain red because they're not mid. You know what? You stay mad. Stay mad. In fact, I've decided I'm gonna... It's not a meme. No, okay. Here's the problem with the word meme. The word meme has been corrupted and just be a synonym for joke. Meme doesn't mean joke. Meme doesn't just mean joke. It means like it's a thing that's been passed around culturally. Like everybody saying candy corn is bad is a meme because everybody knows that everybody thinks candy corn is bad. Like that's what a meme is. It's not like it's a joke that candy corn is bad. It's just everybody says candy corn is bad. Right? That's what makes it a meme. It's just a concept that's passed around culturally. I just realized my BGM's not on, but that's fine because you know what? I'm going to leave it on a sour note. Smarties are mid. They're the most mid candy, and I will not rescind that statement. So, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a collab with Iona Spectre again. She's the one that's been playing Undertale and Deltarune with me. And somebody new that we've never seen on the channel before, Spiky Dino Star, who has a low poly N64 style model. He's a digital pet VTuber. He's like a Tamagotchi man. I'm gonna be playing Plate Up with both of those people. It's sort of like Overcooked, but it has like a restaurant management aspect. You'll see. It looks really good. I hope I get to like I want to try to put Spiky's 3D model on stream so you can see it, but we might have to just do PNG. But yeah, that's gonna be everything for tonight. Tomorrow, look forward to that collab, and then on Saturday, we're finally doing 100 sub karaoke. Yo, Toki, you should keep streaming. No, I can't keep streaming whenever you say I should keep streaming because then I'll never get any sleep. I'll never get work done. I'll never eat food. I'll just be here forever. Imagine, how long do you think I could stream for? Like, how long do you think I could stay live? Could you imagine? Oh, actually, you know what? You know what would be funny? You know what would be really funny? What if for like, okay, check this out. Okay, so for my 500 sub goal, the reward is I'm going to make a Discord, okay? So that's 500. Remember that. Discord at 500 subs. And then the next goal after that is going to be 1,000 subs, okay? And once I get 1,000 subs, I'll do like because if you get to 1,000, you can be monetized, right? So if I get to 1,000, if I get monetized, I'll do like I guess it wouldn't technically be a subathon. It would be like a memberthon or something. A super chatathon. Where every membership or super chat gets me to stream for another hour. Another streamer I watch named Super Yoshi has 100 times your subs. Yeah, I think like most people have 100 times my subs. But yeah, okay. Bet. You know what? Yeah, no, that's gonna be a promise. Remember this. At 1,000 subs, I'll do like a subathon type thing. And then you'll get me to stream forever. Then you'll get me to stream for as long as you want. But yeah, that's gonna be everything for tonight. So as always, Smarties are a mid candy. I hit the wrong button. And I went to the wrong screen. So I went to my old setup. Because I still have some settings there that I want to keep. Actually, why did I click that? I have some settings on there that I want to keep. So I still have it, and then I accidentally clicked it. Don't worry about that. We're done. Smarties are mid. Remember, Smarties are mid. I want that to be the last thing I say before I sign off. Smarties or mid.